When my son was 1 and 2 years old, I noticed something that happened. I would bet that it happened to me also. I know it happened to my first son. My guess is every human being goes through this process. He would have friends over to the house, one, maybe a couple, and they would sit there and play with the multitude of toys that he had. And he had a lot. And he'd be content. He'd have a blast with the toy he was playing with. And then he would notice that his friend was playing with one of his toys, and his friend was content and happy with the toy. And all of a sudden his peace was shattered. And he wanted that toy that his friend had. And all HE double toothpick would break loose if he didn't get that toy. Now I think most of us go through this process. We're content until we see somebody else that's happy with something, and all of a sudden we want that thing. I know, I still go through it today. Now I don't have a temper tantrum. I'm not arching my back, throwing myself on the ground, screaming and kicking, but on the inside I am. I've lost my peace because I see a shiny new object that I want. I have 2 questions for you. And these 2 questions define us. These 2 questions decide if we live in the moment or if we're going to live in the future or in the past. In the moment we live, when we live in the moment, we live with peace, contentment. We're connected to those that are around us in our surroundings. We are fulfilled, we are happy, we are energized. When we're living in the future or the past, we are living without peace, frustrated, discontent, disconnected from the world around us. It's going to drive us batty, drive us nuts, because we're constantly going to be looking on the horizon for what the next best thing is, and we refuse to live in the moment. This is the greatest challenge that I have today. It is the greatest heart addiction that I face. And yes, I am a want-addicted person. Absolutely addicted. I am fighting that addiction. Every day, I'm looking to cure myself of this and to stop wanting, to stop focusing on what I don't have. So here are the 2 questions, and they're going to decide everything for you and for me. Do you have what you want? First question, do you have what you want, or do you want what you have? They seem very similar, but they're polar ends of the universe. One is the North Pole, one is the South Pole. Do you have what you want? If we're living by this, and this is how I live most of my life, unfortunately, I'm constantly wanting the next new thing. I'm never pleased, I'm never content. I'm always living in the future, wanting something more, and I'm looking in the past, bitter at what I missed, what I don't have. I'm the 1 to 2-year-old with the toys, and I see someone else with a new toy that has something, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be financial, emotional, spiritual, physical, relational. I see something that I don't have, and I start coveting it, and I'm wanting something. Instead of wanting what I have, instead of looking what I have and being grateful, because that's living in the moment, that brings peace and contentment and connection to our surroundings. How we answer those 2 questions is going to decide on the life that we enjoy or don't enjoy. It decides everything about us. One is going to add years to us. One's going to steal it from us. One is going to help us stay healthy emotionally and physically, spiritually. The other is going to rob us physically, emotionally, and spiritually. When you look at what you have right now, do you want what you have? Your spouse, your children, your home, your neighborhood, your health, your attitude, your decision making, your education, your finances, your job, your company, whatever it happens to be. Do you want that? And if you don't, why? Because I believe there is wealth in everything that we do have. And we just have to want it. We have to stop focusing on what we don't have and start looking at what we do have. When we start living in the latter part of that question, wanting what we have, that brings such joy, such contentment, such fulfillment. I believe if we can just get this question right, we can solve a lot of our problems, a lot of our dis-eases in the world, a lot of our disconnections and frustrations will go away. We have to start wanting what we have. We have to start wanting what each of us owns, each of us has. My name is Ed Carcarey. I'd love to connect with you at edcarcarey.com. Find your passion, you'll find your life.